you're pausing their neurological development, you're pausing their bone development. We've got like 15-year-old boys now that have osteoporosis like an 80-year-old woman, and there should be a healthy teenage boy. And so it's halting the bone development where it's becoming brittle, the teeth, the bones are becoming brittle. And so there's major long-term outcome problems with that. But then when they put the kid on puberty blockers, typically more than 95% of the time, they'll go on to get cross-sex hormones. It should almost be viewed as a single pathway of treatment instead of one then the other, because of when you start a kid down this path. Imagine a boy on puberty blockers for 4 years. Now he's 15, and his buddies have broader shoulders, deeper voices, a 5 o'clock shadow. He still looks like a prepubescent 10, 11-year-old boy. Is he going to feel more aligned with his masculine identity? No, less. And so they almost inevitably go on immediately after to cross-sex hormones. But if you go from one to the next, you're sterilized for the rest of your life.
This is what I look like. This is what I sound like as an almost 30-year-old man. This is what happens when you let people transition in adolescence before they've had a chance to grow up.
Hello. Yeah, I'm gonna be talking about the real reason Steve is so cool like trannies. And if I can, I'm trying to insert a video. But basically, he likes trannies because their bodies be prepubescent because of the puberty blockers, okay? So transgender people, when they take puberty blockers, it makes your body stay prepubescent level. A lot of times after they block the puberty, because they don't want say for instance, the person is a male trying to turn into female. They don't want the male to experience puberty because then he's gonna have larger bones, a larger skull, a deeper voice, and then it'd be harder for that person to turn into a male. Turn into a female, a convincing female. So what they'll do is they'll block the puberty. Okay. So same with if same for if a female was gonna turn herself into a male. Normally they try to get the children, they'll block their puberty so that she won't grow breasts, she won't develop hips, her body will be more like skinnier and like a male's body or like a prepubescent child's body. Okay. The body basically won't develop. That's what puberty blockers do. That's why they start trying to target young children, because they wanted to make people look as children. Even if they start the hormone therapy, these people's bodies are going to be different from a regular person because their body is never going to go through puberty. And a lot of times puberty blockers are not irreversible. Once you stop somebody from having puberty, it has damaging effects. That's why, like, for example, Lexi to me acts like a teenage boy. Okay. And the reason that is because when you block a person's puberty, the front of their brain that develops like it's like the part of your brain that like does executive decision, that makes decision, that can like control your emotions and your reasoning. Okay, that doesn't fully develop until you're 25 years old. So they call it maturation or maturity until it's 25 till you're 25 years old. So if someone gets puberty blockers, it messes up their cognitive function. Okay, their ability to regulate themselves, their ability to regulate their emotions, make good decisions, all that gets affected because that's in the frontal lobe of your mind, and that in your brain, and that gets affected when you take puberty blockers. That part of the brain never gets to develop. Okay, it doesn't matter if the person's on the puberty blockers and then they get the additional hormone therapy to change their body to whatever. That part of the brain will never get to develop. And y'all can look at all this research online, like the dangers of puberty blockers, what it does to the brain. Okay, now that brings me to some of these kids, celebrities, or people that y'all seen in the public eye who was like wilding out, like when Britney Spears shaved off all her hair and she was beating up cars and shit. And like Lizzie Lohan, you can think about Amanda Bynes. A lot of these people were placed on puberty blockers. Now, I'm not saying all of these people are trannies. You got to understand this world is ran by a lot of pedophiles. So what they'll do, even with these child stars, is that they would give these people puberty blockers to keep them looking childlike longer so they can exploit them and make money off of them, okay? Y'all ain't never heard this shit nowhere, okay? Y'all hearing this here first. That's why I'm going to explain why people be acting fucking weird, or why people be acting like teenagers and they're grown-ups, just like Lexi. To me, Lexi acts like a teenage boy. That's why I don't believe she really doing real estate now. I don't think she has the cognitive ability to sell real estate, to be honest with you. To me, she acts like a teenage boy. So what happens is whether Lexi's a girl or a boy, if you go look at her in a swimsuit, she has no hips. You know, her body is prepubescent with some add-ons, but she has absolutely no hips. If she stands straight in a swimsuit, is nothing there on one side. It's no hip. She has to literally poke her hip out for it to be a hip. Go look at pictures of Lexi and her hips. Her body is prepubescent. Also, when a child's body is prepubescent, it's like certain things like their genital regions can be prepubescent as well because they never go through puberty. So the reason why he likes people that are transgender is because their bodies are prepubescent. So he's more of a pedophile than anything than a homosexual. He likes children. So he likes people whose bodies are childlike. Just like when he was with Swade. I'm sorry, I'm going all over the place. Stay with me, don't get lost. Just like he liked it Swade. A lot of people I know was offended by Swade's appearance. That's because she looked like a skinny boy. Swade looked like a skinny boy. It had an Adam's apple on the throat. I had put up a video of Swade right around the time, but the video sounded so horrible when you couldn't hear me. I deleted it. But that poor woman thing had an Adam's apple in the throat. Now Swade could be a woman, but what happens is whoever was Swade's parent obviously put her on pubescent blockers to stop her body from developing normally, so she could look like a child, probably so they could exploit her for modeling or whatever. And when they put her on the testosterone to keep her leaner and thinner so she could be a model, she developed an Adam's apple. Now, so it could be a female, but her body, if you look at her body, it looks weird. Okay, that's what a lot of people that be on puberty blocks, like Britney Spears. And you look at Britney Spears, she got real narrow hips, and she acts like a little child. Remember I was talking about brain function? Go look up clips of Britney Spears and how she be talking and acting. She acts like a little kid. Okay, that's what happens when you put adolescents on puberty blocker. And I'm gonna start a video about a 30-year-old grown man who looks like a little child, sounds like a female, because they put him on puberty blockers when he was a little kid. So y'all can understand. Yes, this man likes trannies because they are childlike. Sometimes they be even childlike in the mind. You know, they don't act normally. Even like if you go look at Sway person, you know, like she when she be out and she be trying to be lit, come off weird. It come off childlike. Like mature people who had their brain developed normally don't act like these way these people act. But since people don't know what they're looking at, they just think, oh, this person being lit, oh, they're silly, they're goofy. Like, no, she gonna be acting like that when she 50 because her brain ain't never had time to develop. He like people like that. That, you know what I'm saying, that act childlike, that bodies are childlike, that might even have childlike genitalia, whether it be a male or a female. Okay, that man, see, just so cool. Y'all gotta understand this nigga is a textbook pedophile. Okay, it's not a game. That's why he was paying Kamari's friend $1,000. And y'all go look up the signs of a pedophile. That nigga is textbook paying people uh, uh, gifts. Why are you paying a child $1,000? He didn't even explain. He's like, I gave Kamari's friend $1,000. Why are you giving a little kid $1,000 for what? If it's to work on your channel, nigga, say that. And then are you giving all the kids $1,000? It don't seem like you are, sir. So why are you giving one particular child $1,000? Like this shit like that. It's just when they pay too much interest in the children, when they want to hang out with children, when they want to make children their friends, when they want to be in children places all the time, like Chuck E. Cheese. Like most parents can't stand going to Chuck E. Cheese with their kids. I know I can't. I hate Chuck E. Cheese. That's why they sell beer there, so you can have a little drink, so you can sit there and not go crazy. Chuck E. Cheese is so damn boring to a grown ass person, but he loved taking his kids to Chuck E. Cheese. Always wanted to be in places like that. Like that's weird. That's not being a good parent. That's weirdo shit. Because most regular people do not want to be at Chuck E. Cheese all the time. They may take their kid to Chuck E. Cheese on a birthday, just not on a regular day. Like y'all motherfuckers overlook that, like, oh, that's normal. He just takes his kid to Chuck E. Cheese all the goddamn time. Like, nah, bruh. That's weird as hell. Most regular people can't stand Chuck E. Cheese. Most regular people don't want to hang out with their children's friend. That's not normal stuff. And be doing TikToks all the damn time. Most normal people, if they were CJ and their family channel ended, they would have just moved on to making adult content. They wouldn't have still been trying to have a family channel with no mom, no family. I'm just gonna hang out with my daughter's friends and make like, come on, y'all. If y'all can't see shit, I can't help you. If you believe this man's a good parent, and that's why he taking his kids to Chuck E. Cheese, and that's why he want to hang out with Kamari's friends all the time, make TikTok. Oh, another sign of a child predator, busting up in rooms unannounced. He had videos where he bust up in on Mabel's son unannounced. He busts up in the room on Kamari's friend unannounced because he trying to catch the kids in states of undress or doing something inappropriate. No normal person will bust in on anybody. They're gonna knock on the door so they can make sure that people are clothed and doing what they're supposed to be doing. Because you ain't trying to walk in on nothing. You ain't trying to walk in on the kid underneath the cover with no pants on. You ain't trying to do that. That's why when he put the phone up to Kamari one time, Kamari was telling the little boy when they was at the hotel, like, hey, yeah, you need to have your pants on. She was trying to get her the little boy a warning. She was trying to get Maple's son a warning. So, like, man, this man he's a textbook pedophile. But like, go look this up. Do your own research. But yeah, he liked trannies because they are like children. Just like I was telling you about them celebrities, how these pedos that run the world, they puberty block these child stars. It ain't no different than like if you go. I mean, this happens all across the world, like Thailand. They be putting children on puberty blockers and training them up to be transgenders. Like this is a whole worldwide agenda, bro. The world is ran by pedophiles. They want to make everybody like this because they want control over the masses. And they want people to be like slow ass sheeple that they can exploit and do sick shit, transgender shit to children. Because they want to make a whole generation of confused people that are sick in the mind that they can do any and everything to. They got weird black bodies that's not like the normal man and woman that God made. They want to make their own creation populate. Because once you be on these puberty blockers as well, it sterilizes you. A lot of these people can't have children. Like whatever Lexi is, male or female, they put it on puberty blocker, whatever it is, she can't have children. I guarantee you, Lexi will never have a child because Lexi has been on puberty blockers and that shit makes you sterile. Okay? She will never have a child the real way. Okay? These motherfuckers be puberty block trainers. Somebody was sitting there faking pregnancy tests. Okay? And that's why a lot of these stars be acting weird and loopy, these child stars, because they be putting these people on puberty block. I think they had Michael Jackson on puberty blockers. That's why he had that weird ass voice, and they said he acted like a child, or as people would say, he had Peter Pan syndrome. Which Peter Pan syndrome is not a real diagnosable condition. Okay, a lot of times it's not Peter Pan syndrome. It's these people never reach maturity in the mind because they was on puberty blockers, bro. That's why they be having weird ass voices. That's why Lexi sound like a teenage boy. That's why she act like a teenage boy. That's why Sway was looking weird to people. These people don't be having normal bodies. They be having prepubescent bodies, skinny, gangly bodies with no hips, looking like whole creatures. You know what I'm saying? Britney Spears with her super narrow ass hips, like a child. Like, go look at these people's bodies. Just go look. I know the shit mind blowing, but go look. These people bodies are like children's. They have no hips. They're prepubescent. It don't matter if they go get some add-ons. It's still some add-ons on a prepubescent frame. And a real child molester will love a tranny because a tranny is the closest thing you're going to get to a child because the body hasn't went through puberty. So their body is going to look different from a normal man and woman made from God's image. It's not going to be the same. Even sometimes their genitalia is prepubescent, which is sick. I'm telling you, it's the rabbit hole go deep, man. So that's why a lot of these child stars be crazy in the mind because their brains never got to develop. So they're a grown ass person navigating the world just like Justin Bieber. They put these people on puberty blockers and their brains are always stuck at a certain level because they was never allowed these people to develop. They wanted these people to be childlike as long as they could so they could exploit them and make money off of them. Okay, and then these people reach adulthood and they want to do drugs and shit to escape because they know they're not normal. They know they're not like everybody else. They be having like messed up bodies and small genitalia and a whole bunch of stuff because the people was trying to exploit them as children and put them on puberty blockers. And in Lexi's case, her mom probably put her on puberty blockers so she could be a child prostitute. She probably was prostituting that girl. You don't just jump out the gate being a prostitute. You know what I'm saying? She was groomed up to be a prostitute. It just ain't no different than the kids in Thailand. This shit happens all over the world, y'all. What I'm telling y'all is not nothing that's just in America. People will actually put their kids on puberty trannies or whatever, and a lot of trannies end up having to go to sex work because they can't navigate normal society. It won't be accepted. You know, most people that got eyes to see is something wrong with the way Lexi looked. So whatever Lexi is, she was on puberty blockers. It has no hips. You know what I'm saying? It looked like a man. It sound like a teenage boy. And she do sex work. Like that's been known. You know what I'm saying? And if she's her young age already being a sex worker, that means she probably was doing that shit for a long time. So, you know, Robin seems like more of a handler than a mother to me. And they said she was even the Mama So Cool person said shit, they was going off to hotels and having clients together. So yeah, that's some sick ass shit, man. People out here be exploiting their children. That's why I feel sorry for Lexi, because Lexi is probably a trafficked child, you know, and her mom exploited it for money. You know, people be running their kids. And Lexi might not look at it that way. She might just be thinking, I love my mom, and maybe she thought she wanted to be a tranny. You know what I'm saying? But like, come on now. Like this shit out here gets sick, bro. The rabbit hole go deep. You know what I'm saying? That's why these people all end up in Vegas. That human trafficking capital. Like, there's no mistake that people end up in Vegas, because this is where you could do this shit at and be under the radar. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times when I said human trafficking, the governments be involved. The governments be knowing exactly what be going on. That's why everybody come to Vegas. Go look at all the horrible stories of human trafficking, them finding people in cages and shit in Vegas. It be going down. That's why all these people ended up in Vegas, because that's what they do. They human traffic. If you're in the human trafficking or you a human traffic victim, you're gonna find your way in Vegas. You gonna make your way there, because that's where it be going down at the most. So yeah, I know it's a lot. I hope I can get y'all lost with the celebrities and all that stuff. But yeah, he likes trannies because he's a pedophile, and these people got puberty block bodies. Okay, I'm gonna insert a video showing you what it looks like. Just like if y'all watch that show, I Am Jazz, and they puberty blocked that little person since they was little, and then supposedly when it was time for them to get bottom surgery, the I Am Jazz person had childlike genitalia. They couldn't even turn the genitalia into a proper fake vagina because it was hardly nothing there. You know, imagine pedophile going to meet people like that because they have childlike genitalia. And a lot of times, some of these people keep their genitalia, you know what I'm saying? But then the genitalia don't be like a normal person's genitalia because they was puberty blocked. So this person didn't go through puberty. So you can imagine their genitalia resembles as something prepubescent. That's sick. That's why he like trannies. That man is a textbook pedo. He needs to get help. Y'all denying what y'all looking at and not helping that man. You CJ supporters who come on this channel and be in my comment section. Yes, your boy's a pedophile, bruh. That's why he like trannies. He like puberty block bodies. Okay? That's why. If you don't know, that man's a textbook pedophile. And y'all being in denial about that shit, talking about he a good dad, he a good dad. No, he's not. He's a sick dad. He needs help. All he gonna do if he don't get help is destroy his children. I'm gonna tell the truth and shame the devil over here. All right, and with that said, I'm gone.